Necrolite 17 and 2 CS in 3 minutes. You do the math, that is like 6 or 7 a minute in early game. That is just insane. Checking in farm in the mid lane, we do see PIS on 7 and 3, not too shabby, against Dendi, who's at 6 and 3, not too shabby as well, especially given that he did die once. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, 1 and 0 on that puck. And let me see how Night Stalker is at 20 and 3, so he's getting absolutely free farm as well. So matching a free farm on that Necrolite, and let's see, this free farm is gonna pay off. And yeah, of course, earn style, 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, earning his name, getting both the Basilius and the Urn and the Crystal Maiden aura. So he's gonna have mana up the wazoo, and he's gonna nuke creeps like crazy. And yes, this mana bar is going to help me out in terms of seeing the mana. And I've been getting a lot of messages saying that, Rodin Yellow Luminous, that mana bar is cheating. And then newsflash, guys, newsflash, just because I'm using mana bar in a commentary doesn't mean I also use mana bar in a real game. Not sure if that ever connected in some of your haters' minds, but just putting that out there. And looking back in the mid lane, Earthshaker is going to roam to the mid lane to help for gank. Probably have a Earth Aftershock at level 2. Crystal Maiden also roaming there. This ward is going to see a lot of people down the hill, and that is going to allow the Pugna to pick up a regen rune. So Pugna controlling the lane fairly well. Let me check out the farm again and the mid lane. 12 and 8 on the Shadow Fiend, and let's see, Pugna is sitting at 10 and 4. So actually Dendi leading the game. But we want a top lane here. Nice gank coming in. I think Surge was already casted. Yes, Surge is already casted on the Darkseer. Really nice gank from the Nirvana China team. So far, the score is 3-0 in favor of the Chinese, and they are going off a very good start. And keep in mind, this is again played in front of the Chinese crowd. I was watching the Chinese streams. Of course, the Chinese viewers and the commentators will be favoring their own home team. But one thing I really noticed about missing a kill somewhere at the mid lane here, as we see, nice raises coming from Dendi. I apologize missing that kill. Probably a standard Nova into a couple of just raises from the Shadow Fiend. So really well played by Dendi, despite losing the mid lane earlier to a death. Is going to get a kill. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, this is what I mean, right? DTS just, I think probably that was off a pull. Yeah, that's definitely off a creep pull, and then the creep wave just lined up. Basil ring is turned on, and then we will have that voodoo restoration if need be to heal these guys creeps. We are gonna see a 5-minute tower being taken down by the Scourge team, and these guys really gotta be careful, because I mean, this is a very strong position, but they are very vulnerable to a gank path coming in from here and coming in from the TP as well. And Puck, gotta be careful. We are gonna see a Nova. He is gonna get the hell out, but this tower might be forfeited. And I mean, this 6 minutes to a level 2 tower, that is a little bit too soon. But we are gonna see reinforcements gonna come in the form of Earthshaker and the Pugna. So let's see if they can come in before this tower goes down. We are gonna see a Illusionary Orb coming in, and Decrepit Ward Blackout. Nice Fisher getting all 3 heroes here. And Witch Doctor is gonna go down, and Crystal Maiden might be going down as well. Crystal Maiden absolutely out of mana is gonna go down. Earthshaker KS is probably a little bit better to leave it for the Pugna, but whatever, they got the kill. So successfully defended top tower, but regardless, that top tower lost a lot of HP. But at least at the very least, they picked off 2 heroes. And meanwhile, Earthshaker in trouble as well. A Fisher is being casted, but no mana to follow up for the Night Stalker. Night Stalker, I think the Void takes 80 or 90 mana at level 5. Yeah, the level 3 takes, some mana here. As we see, actually, this Necrolite a little bit in trouble here. Night Stalker is going to be coming in, as well as the Shadow Fiend. Let's see if they can pick off the Necrolite. Necrolite doesn't have any more posts. Then they give me some nice raises here, but we are going to see the Night Stalker coming in with the Void and a good C raise being picked off. Is that Nirvana Zeus? Let me see how Nirvana Zeus farming. Sitting at 41 CS across the board, leading the way. This is what I mean, right? Nirvana Zeus giving him a free farm lane might have been a little bit of a bad idea. He is just gonna last hit every single creep in that lane. 8 minutes and 40 CS. That's around what, 5 to 5.5 CS. That is just a little bit too insane to cope. And I mean, this lineup for Nirvana China is going to be extremely strong in the early game. But despite of that, DTS have 4 kills of their own, as we see another ganking attempt on this Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend just didn't know what hit him, and I think this tower is going to go down immediately. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, these guys is going to try to take down this tower as well. So this is more or less is going to be a tower trade. I don't think anyone can TP into that bottom lane. But I think trading tower like this is going to favor the Sentinel team a little bit, just purely due to the map control, because this mid tower is going to be extremely important in terms of helping out ganks, placing wards, going for Roshan attempts during the mid to the late game. And losing that mid tower is a little bit big. However, losing the bottom tower is going to make this lane a little bit dangerous for Nirvana Zoe to farm in, and he is probably going to go back to that bottom lane momentarily. But now we are going to see Sentinel roaming to the top lane, and are we seeing the critical level from this heroes yet? No, Lion is still level 5, Earthshaker is still level 5, and Puck barely turning level 6. So, I mean, once the Lion and the Earthshaker picks up level 6, that is going to be the time where Nirvana China wants to pick a fight. And I think these guys are content to trade another tower. I mean, I don't think this tower is going to be a good trade, as we are really need to have some tower defense going on. This tower went down really quickly. We are going to see some teleportation coming in. Nirvana Zoe got to walk in here and take the initial bulk of those spells, and he should be careful. A Night Pulse only hitting 1 creep, and these creeps are just real on that tower. And we are going to see a single teleport coming in, and these guys are going to back up, satisfying with the amount of damage they have dealt. No, they're going to go back in, going for the Necrolite here. That cast is going to be bouncing like crazy. Dream Coil is being casted. Nirvana Zoe is going to die, but that Night Stalker in trouble. Crystal Maiden in trouble. The Witch Doctor in trouble as well. Blast hitting 3 Puro, and that Night Stalker completely very low HP, but Night is on. They are going to focus on the Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden does go down, but Night Stalker did live. So trading the Crystal Maiden for Necrolite, definitely a very good trade. And also they have done a significant amount of damage to that level 2 tower as well. So despite the Sentinel team having a significantly better early game, the Scourge team not too shabby with their pushes as well. Earthshaker coming in around, just placing that ward, and is going to smartly back off. So 8 and 5 is the score so far. And again, let me check out how the farm is doing. Nirvana is though slowing down with 48 creep kill. Keep in mind he did die 2 times already. Meanwhile, Dendi is sitting at 58 now. That raise is starting to come in the picture. Crystal Maiden just doing a great job in terms of providing her entire team with the amount of aura with the mana. Not sure why I'm stuttering. And look at Night Stalker's regen, right? He is just regenting like he has a Gunsu on him or something, because that Urn, Basilius, and a Crystal Maiden aura is gonna just help him so much. He could just practically void and then void and void, and he is gonna have full mana. Definitely gonna help out the Darkseer. Darkseer, pretty mana intensive hero as well. Really good time awareness doing that creep pull around the 50-second mark. Well done. Of course, that aura is going to help out the Shadow Fiend, not the Shadow Fiend, yeah, the Shadow Fiend, excuse me, as well. And in terms of giving him a couple more raises before he has to go back to base. Meanwhile, on the Sentinel side, let's see how their item progression is, and they are going to push this mid tower as well, or if not pushing it, just put some damage on it. We are going to see a Vanguard, very interesting on PIS. Puck probably going for that Blink Dagger first. Let's see, Lion, nothing on him. Earthshaker going for that Treads first. And that's it. That's pretty much it on the item question. And going for the mecha is that Necrolite. So fairly standard item on the Sentinel. And other than that, Puck Knight looks like we are going to have big fight. Nether War is placed a little bit out of position, and because that Nether War is going to get picked off of. No, decryptifying it just to delaying it a little bit longer. Night Stalker is going to run in. Earthshaker gets silenced before he casts any spell, and that is going to be huge. Earthshaker trying to run out. Dark Vacuum is going to get him in. We are going to see Dendi coming in for the raises. A lot of spell is going to be used, and we are going to see Finger is going to be cast on Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend trying to cast his ultimate is going to die before he casts it, but Maladect is going to be on the Necrolite. Necrolite is going to go down to the Witch Doctor. Right click here. Meanwhile, the Darkseer is trying to bring down the Witch Doctor. Demon Witch taking a lot of damage from the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is going to get that last hit. Is DGC doing some very nice juking into the Witch here. Meanwhile, Puck Knight doing a lot of damage, trying to force the Darkseer to run away. Darkseer is going to be away now. The Witch Doctor in trouble, and we are going to see Line without mana trying to get right click the Witch Doctor down to death, and everyone surviving at the end. So a very, very hectic team fight. Nice juking from players from both ends, and no one really dying. Witch Doctor is going to haste home with that rune. And let me see who came ahead of that team fight. Necrolite Necrolite died once again, but Shadow Fiend and the Night Stalker also died. So I have to say that was a pretty even. That was a 3 for 3. But unfortunately, the Scourge squad lost 2 of the carries. Meanwhile, the Pugna and Pugna also, well, Pugna and Puck. No, Puck died and the Necrolite died, so I guess Sentinel lost 2 of their carry as well. So I guess that was more or less a even exchange. But frankly, I don't think Scourge is in a position to trade evenly at this point. For whatever reason, I mean the hero score is 11-8, so they shouldn't be too like far off, and I think they even have more towers than the Sentinel squad. But for whatever reason, I feel they're a little bit more defensive. They're a little bit weaker. Probably because the Witch Doctor and the Crystal Maiden doesn't scale as well into the mid game as the Earthshaker, as that Puck, and as the Line. So I think once the mid game comes, I think the Sentinel squad is just gonna be a little bit too strong to handle. Yes, we are gonna see that Pugna going for the Vanguard, and I'm not too sure. I mean, yes, generally we do see Pugna going the Mecha, but since the Necrolite is gonna go to the Mecha anyway, so Vanguard not that bad of a choice, I believe. But I mean, I think I would have just gone for Agastic in that case. Yes, it's like 2,000 more gold, but you know, constant life drain isn't too bad. Of course, a point booster and a Ogre Axe gives you more or less the same HP. Probably gives you even more HP, but of course doesn't give you the regen, as we see another push gonna go on this mid lane, and finally we are gonna see Mecha finish, and looks like the Necrolite going for that pipe next. And I mean, once that pipe is finished, I don't think that the Scourge team is gonna be able to come back, because you gotta keep in mind what the strategy of the Sentinel squad is, and they are gonna push up the hill like very nonchalantly. They're just gonna go up the hill, whatever. Nice ward placement for that Nether ward. I like this ward placement. This is gonna help out. Oh, Dream Coil and that Fissure not kind of synergizing too well. That Dream Coil got everyone, but it kind of blocked everyone off. But the Crystal Maiden, despite having the Fissure to protect her, still went down. So that was quite unfortunate for Heather. And actually losing the Crystal Maiden is a little bit huge in terms of counter pushing. Crystal Maiden does have a Nova that can be casted from a fairly long distance, so that is not too bad of a defensive spell. And this is what I mean by the pushing power of Earthshaker. Generally, Earthshaker is one of those heroes that, you know, that is thought to be a defensive hero, but because of those fissures, could just ward off heroes from a mile away. That is going to help out. And these creeps just dying so very quickly. Tower is at half HP at this point, and I think they are going to just bring down the tower and probably back, because they are pretty running low on mana. They're at half mana at this point. Not too sure whether they could engage a full-on team fight, but they are going to pick off the Night Stalker first, and Crystal Maiden is going to go down as well. So they probably could put off Rax at this point here, and yeah, no BKB finish on Dandy just yet. A really nice vacuum, getting everyone raises is gonna hit, but this is the problem of a very good and very quick mecha on the other team. Is the heal is just too much to handle, and the Necrolite healing pulse is gonna, you know, put everyone back to full HP. But despite having a lot of HP, it's not gonna be enough, because these guys are running out of mana, so they are gonna back. But I think we are going to start to see Nirvana China just having a too strong of a hold in this game. You know, Sentinel team just pushes too strong. The Scourge team not too good in terms of defending. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said DTS not too good of a defensive squad. They push extremely well, but on the defensive end, you can see that they're struggling pretty well. And that's probably because of their picks as well. They don't have as good of a defensive squad. They don't have Earthshaker. They don't have a Pugna. The only long-range AoE spell is going to be that on the Shadow Fiend. More or less the kind of a Iron Shell and the Crystal Maiden Blast, but that's pretty much it. So, and whenever they have a entire wave in front of them, they just have to walk in and tank the you know, the brunt end of it. I'm not too sure whether Night Stalker is tanky enough to do just that. He is gonna go for that Vanguard first, which is gonna help, but you know, Vanguard first this late, this is 17 minutes, this Vanguard is just gonna be too slow considering the burst AoE damage coming from the Sentinel squad, right? We do have a Reaper side, we do have Finger, so if they unload every single spell on that Night Stalker, like Vanguard or not, it's not gonna help out all too much. And let's see if Pipe is gonna be finished on that Necrolite. Once Necrolite gets Pipe, it's gonna be just basically GG. You gotta keep in mind that Scourge Squad is that one huge AoE burst damage team fight. So if the pipe was popped and the mecha and the healing wave was used after that big Requiem of Soul,